Welcome back. This is CoachDaveMarch.com. I'm here to bring you another article. This article is called Knowing the Difference Between Intrinsic and Extrinsic Career Goals. Knowing the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic career goals is really important. When it comes to conventional thinking, most of us think, okay, we'll go to school, we'll get educated, then get a stable job at a large corporate company, all while paying off large college debt, working the same job for 30 years, then, follow that whole conventional thinking where you get married, retire at 65, and then finally at 65 you search for your happiness during retirement. The idea here is, where is the focus on the individual's happiness earlier in life? More and more people yearn to do what they have a passion for. There's a quote: working hard for something you don't care about is called stress, while working hard for something you love is called passion. So what's the difference? The difference is the motivation. What it comes down to is, with intrinsic motivation, you're pretty much doing your hero's journey. And the task of the hero is to claim one's own life and place in the world instead of having one's life and place determined by others. The motivation of the hero is said to be intrinsic. Here's the definition of extrinsic motivation versus intrinsic motivation. Extrinsic motivation can be when you're doing something to receive a reward or benefit. You may take a new job because of the higher pay and better benefits package. Or it can be when you do something or perform a task because of the outside influence that you're going to be getting it. Maybe your boss wants you to do something, an institution or an agency. The motivation is essentially coming from outside, not coming from inside. Intrinsic motivation is deep and powerful, comes from within. For example, consider a teacher who is inspired by the growth of her students, or a doctor who is driven by improving someone's health because of a cancer or a health issue, and they want to now, heal that person or find the solution to their problem. This is intrinsic motivation. The motivation stems from the meaningfulness of the work you derive from it. You're driven by what you yearn to do, and there is no reward or compensation for it. It's just very enjoyable. The thrill is in the hunt, is in finding the better way. It's in finding the solution and finding that new path to either solve a patient's illness or to help that student grow to his fullest potential. Let me give you some more on intrinsic motivation and its goals. Let's take drumming as an example of an intrinsic goal. Playing in a group can build relationship with others. Playing new rhythms and being able to play them faster or be adaptable enough to change rhythms quickly can also be an intrinsic goal. And being able to keep the beat or leave space for other musicians, all signs of personal growth in drumming. If you're doing this as a hobby with others that you know for a while, it increases the happiness exponentially with each person involved. In a short version, learning to play the drums because you enjoy making music with it is intrinsic. Learning to play the drums because you want the prize money the contest is offering, or you're trying to impress a girl, is extrinsic. You're not really doing it because you have an internal passion for it. Here's a different scenario. Let's say you're a traveling musician or a new artist playing gigs everywhere you can. You're getting out there and you're doing what you love, and it's a lot of fun, you're really happy, but you're not being paid enough to play. You could be happy just introducing your talent to the masses, but you're struggling to make ends meet. This is when a coach can be helpful, or a manager can be helpful, so that you can be more productive, be more profitable, and make the money that you're looking for. This being said, it should be obvious to you that the secret to effective motivation is intrinsic. There is even a New York Times article titled "The Secret to Effective Motivation." In this article, one of Yale's researchers did a research on over 11,000 West Point military cadets and assessed their motives for attending the academy over a 14-year period. In her article and her research, she states that our study suggests that the effort should be made to structure activities so that extrinsic goals do not become motives. Helping people focus on the meaning and impact of their work rather than, say, the financial returns it will bring them may be the best way to improve not only the quality of the work, but also, counterintuitive as it may seem, their financial success. This is interesting because so many people are motivated or said to be motivated by the money when it really should be focused on the meaningful activities that they're doing for others. Not only is it the best way to create motivation, but also makes you happier. In a film titled Happy, a psychology professor named Tim Kessler brings up two basic types of goals we have as human beings: intrinsic and extrinsic. He notes that people with intrinsic goals are concerned with personal growth, creating and sustaining relationships, and desire to help community. These people report being happier, having more vitality, and feeling less depression and anxiety. This is because intrinsic goals are inherently satisfying in and of themselves. It have to do with intrinsic psychological needs that we all have as people. He contrasts this with extrinsic goals, such as money, image, and status, which we all want to some degree. But people that are more oriented to money, image, and status tend to report less satisfaction with their lives. They are more depressed, anxious, and they feel less vitality and less energized with their life day to day. From the above references, you can see that intrinsic goals will not only make you happier, but it will also be a greater source of motivation. Motivation comes from within you, and now you can bring that motivation to your work and you can make your passion a dream career. For many people, it's simply working too many hours for too little money, feeling that they're not building their empire or working for someone else's vision, someone else's dream, which makes them upset. Overworking themselves or working in an environment they don't really like just for the money to pay off debts or to keep up with the Joneses in order to live up to image or social status requirements essentially leads to burnout. It could be then that we are so wrapped up in meeting these extrinsic goals by paying off our bills and getting to a certain point in our lives that we don't make the time to think about what we want to achieve our internal intrinsic goals. We simply disregard them. Now, this could be enriching one's personal growth, having hobbies, building relationships, desiring to help the community, but instead, we tend to focus on extrinsic goals, earning the money, gaining the image, social status, or popularity. The key here, particularly as it relates to your career, is to not take a career because it's safe, secure, or simply because it's good benefits and pay. Those, as we said before, are extrinsic goals. It should not be the motivations. Understanding the difference between intrinsic and extrinsic motivation means although you may like to wear gold watches, have a big house, 5 cars, a big pool, and all the fancy stuff, when you make that the only motivation, it tends to fall short. What we're talking about here is a mindset shift. It comes down to your mission and your purpose. The ideal career is something that you love doing, you're great at, the world needs it, and you're paid well for it. To find your path is to find meaning in your work. This is done when the work is fulfilling in and of itself and it responds to your individuality. Now, this is difficult mainly because we're not taught in school about knowing ourselves, knowing our skills, and knowing what makes us different and unique, and also of equal and inherent value. So we all have mission in our life, and pursuing that makes us feel fulfilled. However, it can be difficult to put into action your passion and make it into money. For most of us, it's not easy going inside and finding out what we want out of our career. The key is taking action. Consistent action, doing all kinds of different things so that you can find out what you really like, as I said in a previous article. The greatest risk is not taking a risk at all. It's important to decide to put your money where your mouth is, invest in yourself, know yourself, and invest in advancing your personality, your skills, and sometimes just simply reinventing yourself. It's all up to you. You can do it. Find your dream career, achieve the goals you want faster with a coach with mind mapping, career mapping, and create this strategy and accountability so you can keep the progress in your career journey. Thank you for watching. My name is Dave March. Be on the lookout for more videos and more articles to help you progress in your career. Adios.